How is everyone doing today? Shankar P right here. Today we're going to look at the market, see what's going on with Bitcoin, the S&P 500, and take it from there. So without further ado, let's dive right into the charts. All right, guys. So today, first, we're going to look at actually Google. So the reason why we're looking at Google is because on the last, I think just the previous video, the one before the last one, we were saying that we would enter short once the price got closer to this point right here. So now that I am, the price has come up a bit, there is opportunity to enter short. Not at this moment, but what we'd be looking for, guys, is we have this pullback. So the price has showed we have weakness, right? So we have a high, a low here. Oops. We have this, base formed here as the price was increasing. And then the price made a lower low. So step down. So it took a step down, right? So now what can we do? Firstly, the only thing I'm waiting for now is for price to maybe have a deeper pullback or a bearish engulfing candle. So that's kind of what we're waiting for, guys. We haven't seen that yet on Google. If we do see it, we will tomorrow enter a short and then take it down further, and just kind of give you guys an example of how you can really just look at the market and take these trades. You don't need all these technical indicators. And again, what do we have here? We have a point where the price made a resistance, right? So we have a point right here where the price made a resistance right here, 38.2. We have this resistance all the way from here, so you can see it kind of aligns. If we drag this all the way, right? So it does align. All right, so that's what we'll be waiting for. The best area opportunity would be in this zone here. So let me kind of mark this off right here. So we'll be looking for entries in this area, right? Again, that'd be in a perfect scenario. The markets aren't perfect, so anything can happen, but we are looking for Google to trend lower and continue. So you can see we went from the daily, saw this drop, and if we zoom in into the 1 hour, now we are looking for the pullback to get in for a short. The reason why we're getting in for the short is because the price broke this structure, made a leg lower, and it's showing and displaying weakness in the market, right? So just consider that while you guys are trading. So let's go to the S&P 500, take a look at that. So S&P is still, still a bit bearish. I mean, today we're still looking bearish. Let's go on the daily time frame first. So underneath the 200-day, and again, I would love to see the price break above here on the daily time frame for us to say, hey, we're moving bullish. Today we are underneath the resistance. So this bullish candle, is kind of just testing this area. So it doesn't really mean too much for me at this moment, to be honest. Let's see how the day finishes in about 1 hour and 36 minutes. And if we break above, so if we do break above, and we can zoom in on smaller time frames, but if we break above and then break above like that, creating some type of higher low, higher high, to me that would look like we could actually be heading further up. But as it stands right now, guys, the S&P is just testing this this resistance and support. So support now is acting as resistance, so it's just testing it. The price is coming back into it. If the next candle is a bearish engulfing, definitely would take that short and anticipate the price to come down even further, right? So you want to consider that, guys, that though the S&P is moving up today, it doesn't really mean too much for the overall trend. Good signs for the S&P is just that we had this area here of consolidation and the price is above it, so that's really the only only real bullish thing I could see for the price action. But besides that, it's really still bearish. We still have to break some key levels of resistance. But yeah, just looking right now, guys, this would be the only thing on the 1 hour time frame where I could see that, some type of reversal could be taking place. If on the 1 hour it starts making higher lows and higher highs, definitely a possibility. But as we're looking now, I don't see any real type of reversal on the price action. But yeah, no, let's keep moving. Let's move to the macro indicators. Let's look at the housing market today, guys, see how that's doing. Housing market, I'm really anticipating the housing market to keep on going down. I don't have any there's no reason for me to believe that the housing market is going to move up. We had this bullish candle and bearish engulfing candle, so to me that looks very weak for the price on the daily time frame. If we zoom into the 1 hour, we're really just consolidating right now. So the price, all it's doing is just consolidating. So you can see here, price action is just consolidating, and it's consolidating lower, right? So the price action is really just consolidating lower. So you just want to consider that as you guys are trading and buying into houses. I would start getting into houses when I see a reversal. I would look, let's say, if price broke above this area, or even if it started making higher lows above this resistance area here. That's all you really need to, housing is different in the sense that it's not as liquid, so you may want to have more confirmation. But if you were trading this fund, this real estate sector fund, you just want to see a higher low being formed above this resistance here, and then you could take a trade all the way up to this area, right? So you just want to consider that. Right now housing is also very correlated to the mortgage industry. And mortgages are actually more important. It's more important than real estate, in the sense that real estate's important, but the mortgage is the most important factor. And if your deal is going to be profitable or not, or if you can even hold on to that asset, right? Which most people are not even aware of. Most people have no idea that real estate is amazing, but your mortgage is more important, because that will really determine if you can hold the property or if you have to sell the property. And look at real estate, guys. Look at the mortgage rates, right? We've broken above this high. Here, guys. And we're just heading higher. There's nothing telling us, no matter what the news says, there's nothing telling us at this moment that we're going to head lower and have a reversal. What we would need to see to have a reversal, let's say news came out or something. Right now I would need to see either, something like that where we start making lower lows, or a scenario where we just come underneath and then head down there. So that would be the two scenarios we would need to see for us to consider that mortgage rates are actually going to reverse on us, which right now, guys, there's no indication that mortgage rates are going to reverse. Still heading higher, still looking strong. The news is just gonna lead you to destruction. So everything's gonna lead you to destruction if you're not aware and you're out making your own decision. Remember this, it's always better to make your own decision and be wrong than follow someone else's and be right. Because if you make your own decision and you're wrong, at least you learn from it. If you take someone else's advice and you're right, you don't know why you were right, and so you're always gonna be a slave, and you're always gonna be controlled by the person that gave you that right answer. So you need to seek this information for yourself. That's why it's so important to watch these videos and understand. Again, I am just as well learning, but just as I'm learning, bringing the information to the forefront so you guys can really understand how the markets work. Again, like I said, only 3 years in the market, so I'm still learning myself, right? So I'll put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video, actually. Okay, so the VIX is pushing down. So it's at this resistance area, so it is coming down. You know, I mean, the S&P 500 is bullish today, but overall, guys, until the VIX breaks below this level, the VIX is still looking bullish, like on a long-term time frame. This is based on the daily, so this is a daily time frame. If you look into the hour time frame, yeah, the VIX right now is looking. Pull this up. Yeah, it's looking like yeah, we had this double top here, so it's looking like it may come back down, but we are sitting at a support right here, so anything can happen. But as a longer term time frame, the VIX is looking bearish, I mean bullish, until we break below this lower, get back down here, guys. There's nothing for me to consider that we're actually going to reverse. TLT, let's look at the TLT. Now, it's only a matter of time before it inverses. Only a matter of time, right? We're very close, and trust, we are very close. So, you know, that's really it for those guys. Let's look at the BLX. Let's look at Bitcoin now. Again, we're on the 1 hour, and like I said, guys, yesterday, not too much happening for Bitcoin. You know, we broke above. There's no real direction right now for the price action. The only thing I would say about Bitcoin, as well as I've been watching the price this morning, is we are above the support area. So you can see the price has been resisted, and then it's above the support area. So it came down this morning around 4 a.m. and then, you know, held and head higher, and you can see the wicks. So the sellers were getting exhausted, if that's what you like to say, on this area, and, you know, price is being held here. So just consider that, guys. Again, my only I guess analysis of where I could pick a bias is right now we have this weakness in the price action where the price came all the way down here. So that's the only thing showing me that the price you know, may have a better chance of actually coming all the way back down and breaking down. But again, with that being said, we are above this resistance area. So currently, what I think that we have to wait. That's what I think. I think we have to wait. If the price comes down below this area, you know, I would be leaning more bearish, right? Let's draw our counter trend line from point A to point B. Point A to point B right here. All right, let me delete this. So this is our point A, this is our point B. You know, we're breaking underneath here. So, you know, if we keep broken underneath, it's kind of testing right now. So let's see how this candle does, this next candle. If we close underneath again, could be definitely heading further lower. So this consolidation for me does look a bit more bearish than bullish, but, you know, we don't want to place a trade. I mean, I don't want to place a trade right now. The best opportunity for the trade would have been up here at resistance where we got this bearish engulfing candle, and that would have been the best opportunity to take the trade. Right now, you know, we do have a demand zone here, you know, so you could definitely take a trade there. However, the price did break below it, so there's orders. The orders have already been filled, if that's the theory that you're using. So yeah, guys, realistically, Bitcoin price consolidation, for me, it looks weaker than stronger to come back and test this area, which is perfectly fine. You know, testing back in the support zone, that's totally okay. But we always want to remember, guys, the TLT, the 10 versus 2 year, getting close to uninverting. So that's gonna shake something up. It's gonna shake something up, you know. So now let's look at the TLT. So again, TLT has been moving down, moving bearish, and let me just zoom in a bit more. Yeah, price is heading down. So we're still on this downtrend for the treasury year 20-year treasury bonds. So that's a good sign for risk on, guys. But what I have noticed is when I'm looking at the TLT, even though it does look like money's coming out and going into other you know, risk on, which it has been, because we have Nvidia and other things moving up, At the same time, this isn't 100% correlated in the fact that as soon as money comes out of the bonds, it goes directly into risk on. This could really be just people putting money on the sidelines, waiting for a drop in the market, which would coincide with the DXY getting stronger. With the DXY pushing up, right? So DXY has been increasing. So that's what I've really noticed. I've been watching it these last 2 years. I used to, at the beginning, the TLT. Let me actually just add this to the macro indicators. TLT. Yeah, at the beginning, because the bull run was so extravagant. You know, when it was shooting down in 2021, everything, you know, crypto and everything was moving up, but now it has had a massive move down. And yes, Bitcoin has done okay, but as a whole, you know, the move hasn't been as crazy for cryptocurrencies as it has been, you know, in 2021. So that's just something to keep in mind. But you can see, guys, we were on this uptrend from, you know, 2002. At least that's the beginning of when I can see. And then we spiked all the way up in 2020 and just had this sharp decline. So you guys really want to consider, man, is things go down a lot faster than they go up, right? Which is, such is life, right? Such is life. Okay, so now, guys, we are going to look at, the BLX. And guys, Bitcoin, like I said, we are on track. We are on track, guys. We're on the monthly time frame. Things are looking good. You know. But let's just keep in mind. Let's just add some other indicators on. So let's look at the hash ribbon. So if we look at the hash ribbon right now, guys, we are still in a buy for Bitcoin. We are still in a buy. We'll just go on the daily time frame, minimize this. So we're still in a buy. So things are still looking like, you know, prices, you know, if we're using these indicators, right? Whenever we're in a capitulation or miners are selling, that's normally when we buy, right? So you can see here 2022 November and then beginning of 23, you know, then we flipped over to buy. So basically what I'm saying, guys, is right now, based on the hash ribbon, the price is going to continue pushing up, but doesn't mean that we're gonna not cross back over anytime soon, right? But as it shows now, there's a lot of air in between these two moving averages. So for the hash ribbon, still looks like a buy. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pull up the hash ribbon on another chart just so you guys can get a better view. Okay, we're gonna look at the hash ribbon right here. So you can see, guys, anytime the hash ribbon crossed over, so we crossed over here, crossed over right here, that's when we had the lower low on the Bitcoin price. And if you had sold there, the price was 49,000. Yes, you missed the 60K, but at least, you know, you saved yourself a bit. But then you purchase right when it crosses over, and increases the odds. Right, so anytime the hash ribbon has crossed, we've had a dump, you know, or the price, or it was a good time to buy, right? So based on this right now, the hash ribbon is showing that the price is going to keep increasing. It's not actually showing that it's time to buy and accumulate if you're a long-term holder, right? So just consider that, you know, if you're already in based on this, you know, it's going to keep continuing up. But optimal times to buy Bitcoin is actually just whenever the hash ribbon is flashing. So even if you buy here, yes, you buy and it dropped a bit more, but overall you would have been better off. So if you're gonna DCA in, to compound your DCAing, to compound it, is only put money in during that. So if you have 50,000 to DCA in over a year, instead of DCAing over that year, you could just put the 50,000 when the hash ribbon flashes red. You know what I mean? Whenever the hash ribbon flashes red, boom, 50K. Another year, boom, 50K. You'd actually be beating everyone else that's just DCAing in. But this is an indicator you definitely can use and maximize, because you're never going to get the lowest price. But this increases your probability, as a hash ribbon has been one of the more accurate models. And, you know, then pretty much everything else, the hash ribbon and the pi cycle top, those are two things that have been one of the best indicators. And it's like, keep it simple, stupid, right? So the pi cycle top, when they crossed here, that was the top of the market, right? And whenever the bands extend extend a lot, that's when you get back into the market. So you can see that, guys, is that when the market was at its bottom, we were just above once the price peaked just above the lower band here, this yellow band, you purchase there, right? So that was the bottom of the market. The bottom of the market over here, is whenever, again, the price kind of peaked above this ribbon. So these are, I really don't use indicators as much, but these are two indicators that I do believe work very well. I back tested it from when I was trading in 2020 all the way from the beginning, and it's really not that hard to do. You just kind of look and say, okay, you know. And then the hash ribbon as well. So the pi cycle top indicator is a great indicator to show you when the top is in. It's literally predicted every top in the market for the last 4 years. It may not do it this time, you know, but it's definitely something to add to your correlation as you use market structure to give you more confidence to execute. And remember, everything works, but you need to find the confidence in the strategy and in these indicators. And that's why, you know, it may take a whole market cycle for you to see, because you need to kind of feel the emotions and attach yourself to it. You got to go through the fire, you know what I mean? You got to put some money in, you got to watch these indicators happen, and then you have to either take it out, don't take it out, but whatever happens, it's the right decision, because it's your first cycle. And then you can reflect and look and be like, okay, these worked, you know. So when the news or the YouTube is telling you what you should or shouldn't do, you've already have that experience. And that's the best thing you could have, guys. Skill is something that is rare. Money is everywhere. So if you have the skill, trust me, money's just gonna attach to you, you know. So, you know, a lot of people are still hurting. I mean, maybe not as much anymore, but definitely a lot of people are still hurting, especially if their account went to zero and they weren't actually trying to build the skill of trading. But just stay on it, guys. Stay on it. I know only like 7 people watch these videos right now. I don't know how many of them watch them to the end, but guys, stay on it. You're becoming someone, and once you get to the point where you get to competence and you're good at something, every single day that you struggle before that day disappears, because it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You could lose all your money and feel like shit for 4 years, and then you get really good at trading, and then you're like, oh, it didn't even matter because I can do whatever I want now. You know what I mean? So guys, stay in the game, stay in the fight, don't give up. Look at these charts every day, whether you have $1, $10, $100, $1 million. Keep looking at these charts, keep putting in the screen time, keep going. This market's not going anywhere. It's just the beginning. Keep telling yourself it's just the beginning, guys. You know, so I hope that whoever watches these videos to its entirety really gets some inspiration. I'm here learning as well with you. And you know, let's just keep pushing, guys. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep going, and tune in for the next time. Anyways, guys, cryptocurrency, any stocks, anything you want me to review, I will do it with my utmost integrity and give you my best analysis I can. I'm going to put some disclaimers now because I am not a financial advisor, guys. I am just here very passionate about the markets, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.